Good evening. The main stories at 7 o'clock. Max Clifford says the indecent assault allegations made against him by 7 women are all a load of nonsense. The PR expert said the claims all date back more than 28 years, but that if the truth came out, he would be confident of clearing his name. Italy has a new coalition government 2 months after the general election. The deputy leader of the centre-left Democratic Party, Enrico Letta, has taken the post of Prime Minister designate. Former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi's centre-right party is part of the coalition, though he says he won't be a minister. But the secretary of Berlusconi's People of Freedom party is to become the deputy Prime Minister. There's been fierce fighting in the Syrian capital Damascus. One of the worst hit areas was Barzeh in northern Damascus, where government troops reportedly pushed forward using tank fire. It's claimed a number of rebels were killed in the Jubar and Zamalka districts of the capital. In Washington, the Obama administration has said it's continuing to study evidence over the use of chemical weapons in the country and will not set a timetable for any conclusions.
Richard, where's your money at the moment? Do you fear for Wigan?
I certainly fear for Wigan, and I know most people think now that it's a foregone conclusion that Wigan, with this points gap between them and the teams above and the FA Cup final to deal with as well, they feel that that's kind of an insurmountable combination. I just feel, having watched Wigan draw 2-2 with Spurs at the weekend, that there is a real desire in that camp, and some of the passing football that they're playing is so good. And bearing in mind the fixtures to come against Swansea and West Bromwich Albion, that they do still have a chance to get out of it, and that one or other of the North East clubs could be in real trouble.
So if I really had to pin you down, you think that it could be Newcastle rather than Wigan that fills that third spot?
I'm saying it could be Newcastle or Wigan. On to the sport, and Manchester City have narrowed the gap on the Premier League leaders Manchester United to 12 points. They beat West Ham 2-1 with goals from Sergio Aguero and Yaya Toure. But Newcastle's relegation fears are worsening. With 15 minutes left of their match against Liverpool at St James's Park, Newcastle trail 5-0. Daniel Sturridge has scored 2 of the goals, starting up front in place of the suspended Luis Suarez. That's it. Bye for now. Good evening. It's been nearly 8 months since we watched Ellie Simmonds power to double gold at London 2012. Tonight we'll see Ellie back in the pool for her first major competition since those games. She's in action at the British Trials in Sheffield, racing to achieve a qualifying time for the IPC World Championships in Montreal this summer. Ellie isn't the only major Paralympic champion on view. Later we'll be covering gold medal winners Jessica Jane Applegate, Joseph Craig and Jonathan Fox. But keep your eyes open for 2 athletes who are rapidly moving up the ranks, Stephanie Slater and Amy Marin. But let's start with the golden girl of British Paralympic swimming. Since London 2012, Ellie Simmonds' hectic media commitments have meant it's been difficult to set aside the time to train. But she lined up today in the SM6 400 metres freestyle. Your commentator is Paul Noble. Welcome back. So Ellie Simmonds has booked her place in the World Championships in Montreal later this year. Despite not being quite at her best, she still qualified for the SM6 400 metres freestyle. We also saw a new British and European record in the S8 100 metres butterfly from 22-year-old Stephanie Slater. But there was no more impressive British winner in the pool during London 2012 than Jessica Jane Applegate. She swept to victory in the S14 200 metres freestyle for swimmers with learning difficulties. Jessica has Asperger's syndrome. She's completely dominated in this event and wants to compete against able-bodied swimmers this year. Let's see how she fared today. Your commentator, again, is Paul Noble. So Jessica Jane Applegate had complete control. Her winning time, 2 minutes 12.21, more than 3 seconds ahead of the runner-up, Chloe Davis, who was also inside that qualifying time. Now, I promised you earlier on we'd be talking to Ellie Simmonds' coach, and I'm delighted to say that Billy Pye has joined us from our Cardiff studio. Billy, thanks very much indeed for being with us.
No problem, Richard.
What did you make of Ellie's performance today?
Well, she did what she needed to do, which was to qualify inside that World Championship qualification time.
How difficult has it been to keep her focus on training so soon after that wonderful experience of the Paralympic Games. Billy, thanks very much indeed for your time. Good to speak to you.
Pleasure.
Billy Pye there, and that's all we've got time for on today's programme. Thanks for your company. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.